Hello everybody and welcome to Notorious Yugioh. I'm Notorious Cly and today we have another replay with commentary video. Before we jump into the replays, I kind of want to take a second to talk about the deck list that you see on screen over there. I did it everybody, I pointed to the deck list without smacking my microphone. So I'm on a 30 card build right now for a couple reasons. Reason number one is I really wanted to find out how viable a 30 card list could be with resonators, because any one fiend becomes, pretty much full combo, or at least gets you into a synchro play. There's some argument to be had that you might be better off playing a big list with a bunch of answers in it and then just playing enough of the answers that you always end up seeing what you need. And the second reason why I'm on a 30 card list is because with my 20 card list, I kept finding that I would want to run more stuff for more matchups, but didn't know what to swap out. So when I get in one of those kind of moods, zones, whatever, I just go, alright, big build, 30 card, and then just play a bunch of duels and end up cutting the stuff that I end up not missing and frustrated to see, and then keeping the stuff or adding more of the stuff that I was happy to see or really impressed by. Holistic deck building, I guess. Trial and error, the old-fashioned way. And I know I could probably just go ahead and look at everybody's lists that are coming in for King of Games and just copy and paste what they're doing and then see how I like that. But to me, that ruins a little bit of the fun for me right now. This is my favorite archetype, my favorite deck, and I have a fresh new way to play it after a couple years. So I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of figuring out stuff on my own, as far as like what's the correct number of red sprinter to play? How many resonators should I be playing? Should I be playing a bigger build? Should I try to stay as close to 20 as possible? I'm really enjoying the process of finding answers for all those questions myself. And then after I hit King of Games and sit down and really reflect on the run and everything like that, I'm sure I'll probably end up doing a little bit more net decking, seeing what everybody else is doing, seeing what everybody else is on, what cool ideas they came up with, and then probably try them out for myself after I've had the full experience of building and playing Roaring Soul Resonators. Probably should do this now. Some of you are probably wondering, okay, well, like, what are the cards you're thinking about cutting? What are the cards you're thinking about adding more of? One of the cards I'm thinking about cutting is Santa Claus or Book of Moon. I keep oscillating between these two just because they do the same thing, just in different ways. Santa Claus is awesome because it's kaiju, so it's unrespondable. So if your opponent has like a Forbidden Lance or something set, or even a Red Rain set, it doesn't matter. You just get attributed off before they have a window to respond. And Book of Moon is really good because you can set it going first, whereas Santa Claus is, kind of dead going first. It can be used for a combo, which is really nice, and Book of Moon can't, but am I playing enough fiends to need the extra 2 Santa Claus? Can I find other fiends to run in place of Santa Claus if I think I need to run enough? I don't know yet, and that's a question I'm looking to answer. So we're gonna keep finding out. But yeah, those are probably 2 of the cards I would cut, and then I might consider going down 2 more cards. Probably cut a Crimson, just because the second one so very rarely comes up, and then that would get me to 27 cards. I don't really know if I'm willing to cut anything else. Maybe an Oogaloop. But I really love how much value Oogaloop brings to the table. I also like that Oogaloop is a level 4 tuner that can get itself on the board for free, which pairs up well in the late game if I have one of my 3 red sprinter. By the way, I'm on 3 red sprinter now. Pairs up well in case I already have a monster on my board, or they booked something and they left it face down for me. Like, I can always normal summon Red Sprinter, use Oogaloop to banish Red Rising from the graveyard. Now I have a Synchro 8, now ball's rolling again, Hopefully I can get some advantage or something off of that. And then in the extra deck, I'm thinking about going up to 3 Red Rising. Just if I'm playing 3 Sprinter, I want to be able to maximize all 3 of them. I know I have the Oogaloop to help kind of round out the level 8s in my deck, but yeah. And then Nova, I'm thinking about cutting Nova. Every time I make Nova, I think I lose, except against Time Lords. And I think I can just fit enough answers in Time Lords in here that I shouldn't have to worry about it. And then Dark End for Bane, somebody made this suggestion, and the more that I think about it and the more that I pay attention to it now, one Dark End is very rarely coming up because I would prefer to make Scarlight over it or Tyrant over it, and that means the second one is definitely not going to come up either. So I think Dark End for Bane might be a change I'm willing to make. And then I could always drop a Scarlight for Red Rising if I wanted to, and then just keep Nova, because Scarlight comes up sometimes to have a second one just to help clear boards when you're low on resonators, since you can't really get the Tyrant too easily in the late game there. And it's always nice. I don't know, lost my thought there, couldn't finish it. But yeah, thinking about dropping Scarlight down to 1. And I think I've talked enough about deck building, so let's just get right into the replays. Hey, I know that guy. We're up against Jack Atlas, and I'm thinking this is going to be a mirror match, and we get to go first. And you can see my shame right there, almost ranked down. Let's see if I can clutch it out. So opening hand is pretty fantastic. We open Crimson, Red Rain, and Red Sprinter, which means we get to send the Crimson from hand to grave to activate the skill, and then send a Wild One from deck, which is awesome because it means that Wild One is going to be able to get us a Resonator, and we can pair it up with the Red Sprinter if we want to hold on to it. If we want to hold on to it for follow-up instead of trading it out for a second Red Rain, you know, we kind of got the guaranteed follow-up there, which is crazy good. Also why I was on 2 Red Rain in my 30 card build is because opening Red Rain feels great, and then setting 2 feels even better. So I think now that people are accustomed to playing against Red Rain, playing 2 might not be a bad idea, just so you get the hard open sometimes, and occasionally get the double set. But yeah, so we're gonna send Crimson, send Wild One, add Sprinter, normal Sprinter, Sprinter effect, bring back Crimson, Synchro for Red Rising target Crimson, pass the DD Crow check. Don't know why I was so worried about DD Crow. DD Crow has not been around at all. So Scarlight, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna elect to do the double Red Rain play. And since we have double Red Rain and Forbidden Chalice, I feel pretty good about giving away the follow-up, considering I know this matchup pretty well. At least I pretend like I do. So they're going to do the same thing we did, send Crimson, send Wild One. And they are going to go ahead and add Sprinter. They're going to normal Sprinter. They're going to Synchro for Red Rising. And I'm letting them pop off a little bit because I want to thin out their resources as much as possible. I want them to get as much stuff out of the extra deck, so if this goes to a grind game, I can outgrind them because I'll have more stuff available to me in the late game. So we're going to get rid of the Red Rising and the Crimson. They're going to Lance, and be a shame if I had a second Red Rain set. Okay, and they're going to set 1. We're going to banish Wild Wind. We're going to grab the Oovaloop, and we're going to go ahead and normal the Oovaloop. And this is the reason, the exact reason why I'm using my mouse, but you can't see it. But this is the exact reason why I held on to Forbidden Lance here. It's because I was reading that back row is activatable, it's changeable. So I was like, no, they're not going to get my big win condition off the board. So I kept it in hand, which is a risk because they could always just, you know, save this. Not if I'm threatening lethal though, but they could always save it for a moment where it would hurt me. So yeah, so they're going to go ahead and target the Red Rising, which means they're going to go after my Scarlight. So we're going to go ahead and protect Scarlight, and probably a slight mistake on my part here. Probably should have led with the Scarlight. That way I could have ran over the Red Rising with the Scarlight when they summoned it in defense. And friendly reminder for everybody, you do not have to use the banish effect of Ice Dragon's Prison. You can just special summon the thing back from the graveyard and use it to chump block. So good move on their part for remembering that I resolved 2 Red Rains. So yeah, we're not going to get any for damage, which is unfortunate. They're going to go Sprinter, and since they committed a non-tuner to the board, I feel pretty confident about using my Chalice on this, stopping them. They're going to go ahead and grab a Crimson, but that doesn't matter because, you know, they can't put it on board. And our top deck is a Wild Wind, so we're going to use Oovaloop, banish, and go back to hand. And could have been early on the Oovaloop, I don't know. We're going to get in, put them on 1,000. There might have been merit to me keeping the Skullmeister in hand and the Oovaloop, and then just leaving Scarlight out there by himself. And then use Scarlight to just pop, poke, prod, smash, whatever. And then that way I have a level 8 Synchro follow-up, because if they get rid of this Scarlight by sending it to the graveyard, Oovaloop can special itself, and I can normal Meister, and then we get to go Synchro 8. So that was something I could have done, but I elected to get it in for damage just to get them glow, get them close. So we're going to use Scarlight here just because it's special summon the Crimson, just to get rid of one more body. And we're going to normal red. And we're going to go ahead and Synchro for Tyrant. And guess what? We get to recycle Red Rain. Doesn't matter that they're going to book a moon here, because we get to reset the Red Rain. Clear them the Resonator. They're playing with 2 cards. They can only have a 2-card combo unless they're top decking a Sprinter. And if they do that, that's a big hit Red Rain button right now. So we're going to go ahead and win the mirror match. Always nice. Love seeing that. Still have only lost 1, I believe. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. Can't remember. But let's go to the next replay. Next up is Yusei. So is this going to be Mech Knights again? Am I going to get baited into thinking that it's Stardust Synchrons? Quasar Turbo now apparently. Or is it actually going to be Mech Knights? Okay, so opener was okay. 2 Santa is never great, but Uvaloop is nice. And the Sprinter is pretty good too. So we're going to normal Sprinter, Crimson, Red Rising, normal play. This is standard stuff here. So Red's going to gain its life points, Scarlight, and we're going to Uvaloop back to hand, and we're just going to like free money here. We're going to send one of the Santas back just because 2 is a little unnecessary if they're going for Big Dude Turbo. And Uvaloop in hand means I have a level 4 tuner that can special summon itself and a level 4 non-tuner. So if I still have something on board, I'm good to try and make a synchro play behind. Assuming they put a synchro grave for me. But yeah, so Red Rain, Scarlight pass with pretty good follow-up in here. Okay, and they Cosmic, that's fine. We'll chain, we'll make Scarlight unaffected just to make it harder to deal with, harder to out. Now they have to run over it. So they're going to Synchro Chase, Synchron Carrier, Junk Synchron, Jet, we're going to use Chase, Junk Warrior, Synchro Chase again, Stardust, draw a card, summon a token, Jet, Hitch the special, go into Riser, and they're going to pass here, which is really funny because we just get to Kaiju it off, shoot Kaiju off shooting Riser, and then they surrender. And this is one of the reasons why I like running Kaijus, why I like running Santa, is because Book of Moon there means they can go shooting Riser, send, do something, potentially my life a problem. So an argument for keeping Santa, you know? But we'll see. We'll make deck building changes later. Maybe I'll even do a deck building video. I know I talked about doing a live commentary deck building thing. That's still on the table, but replays are more fun because it means I get to play Yugioh to make content. And we have Jaden Yubel, so this is going to be Heroes. I'll call it now. And you can see we had a win streak going in this one. So yeah, alright, cool. Good job. Way better than the D rank. Opener is really good this time. We had Meister, we had Crimson, so we could send Crimson, send Wildwind for free, add Sprinter, open the Red Rain, which is godly. And the Meister's pretty good going into Heroes for Liquid. And Red's always nice to have in hand too. Always nice to have in hand too, just because it could be helpful during follow-up if I can get a non-tuner, which I do for Skullmeister. So if I make an executive decision that Liquid isn't worth negating, then you know, follow-up right there. But again, I am on 2 Red Rain, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the potential high value play, high rolly play, and get 2 Red Rain and set 2 Red Rain. And it pays off because they opened MSD. What a shock. How could they possibly ever open the 3 of in their deck? So they're going to snipe one. We're just going to use it to make Scarlight unaffected and also kind of hide the fact that maybe sort of kind of also have a second Red Rain. And they're going to poly. They're going to make Sunrise. They're going to use Liquid. And this is a value proposition I can't pass up. They're on 2 cards. They're going to add Miracle Fusion. So I need to keep them off of as many resources as possible. And then they Miracle Fuse into Great Tornado, which is kind of a problem because it's level 8. They're going to use Sunrise effect here, but it doesn't matter. So they're bigger than me right now. So we're going to Red Rain. And Red Rain is going to leave their Tornado on board, but they're going to swing in. And since they're not getting boosted by Sunrise anymore, we're going to end up winning because they're going to crash. They have nothing. They know it's game over. So 2 Red Rain. Incredibly high rolly, but feels unstoppable. Next up is Zuzu, and if anybody's been paying attention to what's going on, anytime you see Zuzu, you should be expecting Pendulums and Solfachords, which I was. I'd ran into Zuzu a couple times, so I was expecting Solfachords. I still don't really know what they do. I'm assuming the duelist I played against, the first couple times I faced Solfachords, were new to the deck and a little inexperienced, because it seemed like the deck did a lot to not accomplish much. Their cards have lots of effects on them and lots of restrictions, but they don't really seem to go anywhere. They're just kind of like a beatdown kind of deck, I guess, like Pendulum Beatdown. They have a bunch of like high level monsters with like 2,000 plus attack. That's my assessment of Solfachord, everybody. That shows you how much I've paid attention to the archetype, which is something I keep harping on myself. So hopefully I eventually take my own advice and listen to myself, as I really need to start paying attention to this format a little bit more. A lot of my free time and Yu-Gi-Oh studying has been devoted to TCG, because I'm prepping for a tournament at my locals. It's like a PS5 tournament. So been doing a lot of work, putting in a lot of effort to try and figure out that format the best I can, even though I haven't been able to participate in it a whole bunch. So maybe it's time to focus on dueling, so I know what Solfachords do. Shout out to Mechlord. Watch Mechlord's video. He had a good video on Solfachords, but I need to hear things multiple times or actually experience things to go ahead and learn. And I'm talking because this is going to be our pretty much standard setup. Not nice that we had to... actually, it's kind of nice. We have the Wild One engraved. So we're just going to go ahead and restart this one, because I really want to highlight this setup. Sorry for talking, everybody. Oh my, Zuzu Boyle. Imagine that. Sorry for talking, everybody. But I think you guys like hearing me talk. I think all of you like hearing me talk. I would hope so, at least, and that's why you're here. Alright, so the opener. Crimson Sprinter, Cosmic, Red Rain. Pretty darn good. Feeling really good about it, especially knowing that my opponent's on a Pendulum strategy. Seeing Cosmic in the opener is pretty good. And Crimson's a great send from hand, because that means I can send Wild Wind. And Sprinter's a great open, because that means I have follow-up. I'm really starting to think that 3 Sprinter might be correct, or you might need a certain total card deck to Sprinter ratio to make sure you see it enough on the follow-up or in your opener. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with 3. I really like the third one. I really like opening Sprinter. Can't say that enough. And I really like opening Red Rain, but I can't play that at 3. That's a bad card to have at 3, because it requires too much setup. And it's not great going second. So we're going to send Crimson, send Wild Wind from deck, add Sprinter. And we're going to normal Sprinter. Sprinter is going to special summon Crimson. We're going to Synchro, Red Rising, Crimson effect, grab 2, gain life points. Glad Red's back in my life. That life point boost helps out so much. So much. Especially if they have an answer for your board. Helps them miss lethal. So knowing that they're on a Pendulum strategy, and I have the Red Rain open, and I have Cosmic, so I can potentially like get rid of a set back row or get rid of a scale if I need to keep them off of a way to get Tyrant out. I go ahead and make Tyrant. And then I also like that I have the Sprinter follow-up, so I don't really want to trade that away because I opened Red Rain. This could be a double Red Rain kind of duel. But they're playing Pendulum, they're going to get scales. I know they can, they can't special anything that's banished, but like they can always use their normal summons and special summons from hand to do stuff, stock the face-up extra deck, and then when I'm forced to banish what's on the field, they can always pen summon from the face-up extra deck. So I like to go with Tyrant, just put a ton of pressure on them. I feel pretty confident just because I have Red Rain. And they're going to go ahead and book a Moon. Of course. So we're going to Red Rain early, protect Tyrant, and they're going to go to Yugioh, Coolia, use a skill, scale some stuff, pen summon. And one of the reasons why I didn't Cosmic one of the scales is because they're playing a Pendulum deck, and I saw them search a monster, so they probably had another scale in hand, which means like it's a bad 1-for-1 trade. And they're going to use, they're going to activate Harmonia, their field spell. And oh boy, would you look at that. That's a lot of effects. Yeah, that's the best Cosmic Cyclone target I've ever seen. I don't even need to read all the effects to know that it's a good Cosmic Cyclone target. So they're going to do what I mentioned before and make a big monster with over 2,000 attack and then like pass. And they've got pretty much nothing. So either I am really, really good at picking out Cosmic Cyclone targets, or this deck struggles to put a lot of like interactive stuff, and it relies on being like a just aggro beatdown pen summon spam deck. I don't know. Time to brush up on the Mechlord video so I can watch that and actually figure out what's going on. So this is going to be the easiest Tyrant of my life, and they're going to see everything gone. Everything gone. And they're going to go ahead and scoop. Probably a wise decision. probably the most profitable Tyrants I've had so far. Tyrant for 4. I've had Tyrant for 3 back row, but 2 of them were like MSTs. So I think Tyrant for 4 sets the record. We should create a mini game, everybody. It's the Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend high score. So my current high score is 4. Show me a replay of you beating Tyrant for more than 4. I'd love to see it. Anytime Tyrant gets a pop off, it's a good time. And I think that's going to be it for the replays today, everybody. I think we got a good mix of stuff. I think we hit some good matchups, and I've been doing a lot of replays lately, and hopefully all of you are enjoying them. Hopefully all of you are enjoying seeing my progress, my changes I've made to the list, my thoughts on the list, and thank you all of you for sharing all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I try to reply to them all the time and as fast as I can, but can't always get to them right away, and some of them are thought-provoking enough that it takes me a little bit to think of something interesting to say in response. So thank you for engaging with my content. I have to do the YouTuber thing. I appreciate all of you engaging with my content. It really helps everything out. Really helps all my videos be seen, and all of my hard effort reach more people, so we can all have fun, hang out, talk about resonators, talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, and do cool stuff together. So thank you for all of that. Appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time. Be safe, have fun, everybody. Yeah, that's right. I didn't do the thing where I was supposed to say like, comment, and subscribe. I said I was going to do the YouTuber thing, but I didn't do it because I hate doing it. Feels weird to me. Feels very weird to me. I don't want to pester all of you to like, comment, subscribe. I don't want it to just be like the thing you tune out at the beginning of and end of every video that you watch. So for real this time, everybody. That's the end of the video. Do what you want. Be safe. Have fun.